Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, back for another DVD and Blu-ray collection update. Got a few stacks here, so let's get into it. So the way I've divided it this time, I've got 4 DVDs, new action ones to talk about at first, and then we get into our Blu-rays and some of the more fancier Blu-ray sets, and at the end, we've got some SyFy Channel DVD goodness, so if you like the SyFy Channel, hang around at the end. If you don't, maybe dip out at the 3/4 way through mark, but I hope you'll stay to the end. So let's get into the start of this. We've got 4 new, as I said, action DVDs. And this one is called High Heat. Now, I know very little about some of these. They just had that, cool cover, decent trailer, reasonable cast. Let's go. Particularly here with Olga Kurylenko. She's done a few action films. The Courier is probably one of the bigger ones. And seems to be doing quite a few of them. And, I'm not going to say no to watching a bit of Olga. So, with Don Johnson as well. Read a bit from the back here. High Heat is the story of Anna, a respected chef and restaurateur, but there's a secret ingredient behind her success, and tonight it will be revealed. When the local mafia targets her restaurant to collect on a massive debt owed by her husband, Anna must reveal her other skills. They do have quotes around them. The one she learnt as a KGB operative in order to save her business and her husband and her own life. So there you go. She's also from Black Widow, apparently, which is, I guess, one of them Marvel things that I've never seen. But yeah, this one looks fun. It sounds like, look, I reckon it might be sort of Die Hard in a restaurant. We'll see what we get. That's always fun with me. Nice, sharp 83-minute film, so hopefully it's just lots of action. Strong violence and coarse language. It's always my favourite lineup. Next one we got here is Tom Berenger and Cam Gigandet. I don't know who that is. But this is Black Warrant, great cover, massive explosion. You're always going to get me with a massive explosion. From the director of Blowback, I am not familiar with Blowback, but again with the strong violence and coarse language. Reading from the back, here's the back on this one. He looks very polished. I don't know, that's a very 2010s, I don't know, post-Bourne Identity action star look. Anyway, we'll see how we go. A semi-retired specialist ops assassin and a DEA agent, I assume this is the DEA agent, cross paths on a separate mission to stop a cyber terrorist organization that has built a dangerous machine threatening to attack the power grid and bring catastrophe to the world. There you go. Okay, that's going to be fun. It's from the same exact company, like Saban Films, who did the last one. So, yeah, that's fine with me. A bit like Voltage Pictures, I suppose. Just burn out all these action films. We'll see what this one's like. It looks kind of cool. And this one's a bit longer at 94 minutes, but we're going to hold my attention for those extra 4 minutes. This one I'm particularly excited about because I think so far it's the worldwide only physical release. There's no Blu-ray at all, and I think this is the only thing you can get, which is the Australian DVD. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure something will come later elsewhere, but the new Michael J. White, As Good as Dead, for some reason, debut in Australia. Streaming, man, doesn't count. You can't debut on streaming. It doesn't count. Cinema, physical media. Anything else in the middle is just renting. So an ex-cop with a dark past, and also Tom Berenger in this one. Bryant, which is Michael J. White, lives a simple life in a small Mexican border town. There, he reluctantly befriends a troubled teen, who is being recruited by the local street gang. Bryant keeps the boy on the straight and narrow by introducing him to martial arts. That's a very Michael J. White. And taking on the role of mentor. Some Karate Kid here. Bryant is running from a complex, violent past that he believes he left behind. When his past catches up with him, he is forced into a life and death struggle to save the boy and get back all that he left behind. Interesting. It's got some good photos on the back here. You got your gang runners there in the car. You got Jay White with a pistol. And it is also strong violence and coarse language, and he's holding a machine gun, and there's explosions and a helicopter. I mean, they're ticking all the boxes for me. And I have heard this one's quite good, so particularly looking forward to As Good as Dead. Next one. This one's actually been out for a couple of years, like maybe 2019, but we're only just getting the release now. Sometimes we're early, sometimes we're late. This time we're late. That's fine. Another one with Olga Kurylenko, 15 Minutes of War. An unbelievable true story. I'm sure that's not believable. But anyway, based on the 1976 true story, I doubt it's that close, of the Somalian rebel hijacking of a school bus with 21 French children and an American teacher on board. The rebels drive the bus to the border between French colony and Somalia. French captain André Gerval is called to lead a small team of elite snipers to secretly prepare an emergency rescue. When diplomacy comes to a standstill, time is running out. Gerval and his team carry out a sniper attack to get the children and their teacher out safety. Did they just give us the entire plot there? I mean, obviously that's what's going to happen. We'll see how we are on this one. The only thing that worries me is that I presume that Olga is the teacher, and she's there with her hands up. So, like, I don't think we're going to get her turning around and kickboxing all of these insurgents. So, I don't know. 15 minutes of war. We'll see what this one's like. Right, onto the Blu-rays now, and these are all pretty much import Blu-rays from my perspective, because there's just not been a great deal of good Aussie Blu-rays lately. So here we are. The first one here is Sex is Crazy. Is it really? Is it crazy? I presume it is. I love the gold lettering there, like there's a gold foil thing on it. Franco, bit of Jess Franco on this one. I doubt I can show the back. I probably could. Yeah, you can just about get away with that one. So there's the back. The American disc premiere. I've never seen this one. I don't know much about it at all. But it is listed here as a free-form fall into experimental erotica and a sci-fi comedy. That only Jess could have made. So that's the quote from Franconomicon. That's outstanding. I have to go check that website out. I assume it's a website. Spain, 1981. With the dictatorship over and censorship gone, writer-director Jess Franco returned to his native country to make a series of increasingly brazen films for Triton that included Sinfonia Erotica, 2 female spies with flowered panties, and this surreal sci-fi sex satire that may be the most bizarre film of his career. Lena Remey, at her most lushly exposed and naturally comedic, stars in this oddball meta spoof of carnal cabaret, alien breeding, what the hell, group marriage, spy dramas, satanic cults, the Classificada S genre, I don't know what that is, I have to look that up, all wrapped in Uncle Jess's Goddardian take on his own inimitable oeuvre. A lot of big words on this one. Sex is Crazy. I mean, maybe it is crazy. That sounds quite mental. This is one of the basic Severin discs. So there you go. Just discing that. I get the idea that this might be one of those ones I should be thankful that exists on any format, and of course I am. I'm not, fancy box sets, slipcovers are not mandatory or anything to me. It's all about the film and its highest possible quality for me. Got some special features. Jess is Crazy interview with Jess Franco expert Dr. Alex Mendibil. Franco Goddard interview with Stephen Thrower. That could be interesting. I do like Stephen Thrower. And In the Land of Franco Part 7. So therefore I must have 6 other parts floating around this room. I don't think I even realised that. Anyway, Sex is Crazy. I have to go check out those other parts. Alright, this one. I got this one actually in the used market from Facebook posts, so I didn't import this one. But it is a Severin again. This is more Jess Franco, the saddest of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame, however you wish to say it. Practitioner of gruesome satanic rites. I think, from memory, this one is a different cut of Exorcism. I think that might be right. There's like different cuts of the same film. 1979 legendary writer-director Jess Franco repurposed elements of his satanic sex shocker Exorcism, there you go, with all new footage to create a depraved new epic that even by Uncle Jess standards achieves new levels of Euro sleaze insanity. I like that, the whole cutting together, that's very Sirio Santiago, a few years later kind of thing, just film like 15 minutes of awesome car chase scenes and then just use them in every movie you ever make. Very Roger Corman too. Franco himself starred as a defrocked priest, a bit of Franco there on the cover, turned hooker slashing psychopath prowling the streets of Paris in a fever of violence, voyeurism, rampant nudity and S&M depravity. Oh, good old Uncle Jess. That sounds like a riot to me. I've never seen Exorcism, but I'm happy to dig in on the even sleazier version. Very cool. Special features, the gory days of La Brady documentary, Stephen Thrower on Saddest of Notre Dame, selected scenes commentary with I'm a Jess Franco State of Mind webmaster, Robert Manel, another website I need to go check out, and Treblemakers interview with Elaine Petit, author of Jess Franco, Oui les prospecteurs des bis, something French, something Saddest Notre Dame. Looking forward to that guy. Alright, some newer ones. Well, newer one, then I got an older one. I didn't order these very well. Michelle Yeoh, Magnificent Warriors. Awesome. Nice upgrade here from my Hong Kong Legends DVD. And while on the topic of Michelle Yeoh, I had the maximum pleasure a couple of weeks ago of seeing her film along with Cynthia Rothrock in The Line of Duty. Yes, madam, on the big screen. And Cynthia Rothrock came out to Australia, did a bit of Q&A, and she was lovely. There was a meet and greet package. I didn't have the money for that, unfortunately, but I did manage to get this signed photo, which was a nice purchase. And yeah, that was a good night. But anyway, this is more Michelle, no Cynthia, but around that same time, Magnificent Warriors. And following on the success of Royal Warriors, which is sort of in The Line of Duty 2, David Chung and Michelle Yeoh teamed up, courtesy of D&B Films, for this much-beloved kung fu actioner, inspired by Indiana Jones. She stars as a daring secret agent during the Second Sino-Japanese War, who intervenes in characteristically explosive fashion to defend a remote mountain town from occupying Japanese forces. So yeah, this is a good one. As I said, I had the HKL DVD. And look, my Hong Kong Legends DVDs, I know I did an entire video on those like a few years ago on my entire collection. They might not even number 20 now. Everything is being upgraded, and that is outstanding. And it's mainly 88 and Eureka and Arrow that are doing all the work. So props particularly to Eureka. I love their ones. A truckload of special features on this. It's obviously a new 2K scan. Cantonese English audio in their mono presentations. New subtitles and commentaries, feature-length audio things. Archival interview with Michelle Yeoh. There's the other cover, which is cool. And special edition, you get a booklet and the disc. So yeah, nice to have this one. It's a good, fun one. And yeah, really happy to have this one on Blu-ray. Thank you, Eureka. And yeah, 1987, Magnificent Warriors. Next one. This one was also an older release that I picked up from a friend of mine who was no longer collecting this label. I'm not that fussed about labels. I'm more about getting the films that I need to fill in some gaps. And this is one that I wanted to get for Giallo that I've never seen. Play Motel. Sleazy one, I believe. Mario Gariazzo Play Motel on Raro Video. Came out a few years ago. Does it say here? 2015. So it's an older Blu-ray, but I think it's the only one. Yeah, milestone production from Mario Gariazzo, originally known to American audiences as Roy Garrett, and notorious for sexploitation epics as The Sexorcist, great name, which is Lo Essesia. That's how I've always seen the poster. Lo Ocesa. Assembling here one of the world's finest trash film collectives and eschewing any form of political correctness, the director weaves a garish, fleshly tapestry. Garish fleshly tapestry, I love that. Populates it with Marina Hedman and Patrizia De Rossi, two of the most unabashedly erotic actresses in Italian cinema. Ooh, I'm getting jingly feelings just reading this. As the garishly lit Play Motel, these wayward women and an assortment of bleached blondes, getting more tingles, are first seen being secretly photographed while having kinky sex. Kinky sex. It says SIX here on the back. Good job, Raro. Kinky six. Well, maybe there was 6 of them. I don't know. Half a dozen. Yeah. But what begins as a sexy romp turns into a giallo. That's what I'm here for. As the guests at Play Motel are stabbed to death by a black-clad assassin. Yes, comedy at its darkest. I guess it's pretty funny. I mean, there's 6 comedians. Play Motel is sure to satisfy viewers who crave a more diabolical flavour of sexploitation. Yeah, I'm in for this one, in for a penny, in for a pound. That's why I wanted to get this one. I've been reading about it in a few of my giallo books over the years. It was quite difficult, as the inside, to see for a period of time, but obviously this has been out for a while, and I'm happy to have it from 1979. It's got a few little extras here, 18-minute interview, some cut scenes, blah blah. Oh, a booklet. I don't think I even realised I had a booklet. Let's have a look inside then. There we go. Booklet and the disc, and yes, the alternate cover. So happy with that one. Play Motel. My buddy did me a very nice price. He always does. Occasionally shows some of his things on here. So yeah, Play Motel. Happy with that. Next one, new release and an upgrade for a very old DVD. I had an Umbrella DVD of this. I presume there was other releases, but it just never occurred to me to upgrade. The Asphyx, nice bit of, it's not a hammer, which one's this? Does it actually say? Oh, we'll read the back here. It's from that time and place anyway, 1972. Blending elements of gothic horror with more contemporary ingredients of steampunk, the Asphyx has emerged from obscurity to become a cult favourite of the sci-fi fantasy genre. Utilising an experimental photographic device, a scientist, that's Robert Stevens, captures what appears to be the image of the Asphyx, an ancient Greek spirit of the dead. With the help of his adopted son, he conducts further experiments and conceives of a way to harness the Asphyx and thereby gain immortality. Yeah, this one sounds good fun. I mean, not sounds good fun. I have seen it on the old DVD. This one is good fun. I enjoyed it. I think it's. I love the look of it. Like, it looks like the Time Machine because it's got that Edwardian kind of gothic thing going on. Well, I mean the steampunk thing. You know, big copper and gold and dials and things. 99-minute cut of the film. Now, I don't know if the old DVD was that, so that's cool. Reconstruction of the extended version blends HD footage mastered from the 35mm neg with SD footage mastered from a US release print of inferior quality. As a result, it significantly shifts in quality. So you can watch the 86-minute regular cut or the 99-minute extended cut. That's a huge change. Oh, wow, I'm pretty sure the 99 is not what I've seen. Yeah, I had this in my head that this was like a hammer or an amicus or something, but I'm seeing no mention of that, so it's probably just all in my head. So there you go, the Asphyx, nice slip, just the same there though. Yeah, happy with that, got an audio commentary. And one here from 88, the new one from their Italian collection line. It's a few months old now, I just finally picked it up. Blood and Diamonds, a bit of Eurocrime. I'm not a huge fan of this slipcover, to be honest, so I'm going to take it off. Much nicer, proper Italian poster art. Diamanti Sporchi di Sangue. I don't know. They're diamonds. Diamonds, sport, blood? I don't know. A follow-up of sorts to his earlier film, the seminal Caliber 9, Blood and Diamonds blasts its way into familiar Polizioteschi territory, I can never say that one, leaving scars, bullets, and tire tracks in its bloody wake. After being set up by the mafia gang he is part of, Guido, that's Claudio Casinelli, is sent to prison, upon which he vows to take revenge on those who betrayed him. A must for all collectors of high-octane Italian crime thrillers of the 70s, which I am rapidly becoming. So, very, very happy here. Umberto and Vittorio Russo presenting the actors that I had just mentioned, and written and directed by Fernando De Leo. So, got quite a lot of his in box sets, but not this guy. So happy for 88 to knock this one out. Disc, poster, booklet, and yeah, I'm just not a fan of that new artwork. Shut up, cockatoo. Can you hear that in the background? Just cockatoos, man. Yeah, look, everyone's a critic. Blood and Diamonds, looking forward to that one. And the last in this pile we have here is the Sonny Chiba, the Executioner Collection. I haven't seen the Executioner films from him. Actually, it's just never happened. I don't know why, it's just never happened. There's the inner poster. Will you just piss off? I'm talking about movies. Unbelievably rude, these cockatoos today. As you can tell, although I say good evening at the start, it's nowhere near nighttime. But by the time I get this thing edited and up, it's nighttime somewhere, probably in the States. Sonny Chiba, the Executioner. And take a look in here. Disc, poster, and a booklet. Yeah, a little booklet in there too. Very cool. Again, reverse artwork. It's a little bit gaudy for me. I'm not a big fan of that. We shall read from the back. Fist Flurry and Blood Flows as legendary cult director Teruo Ishii from Shogun's Joy of Torture and Horrors of Malformed Men joined forces with martial art legend Shinichi Sonny Chiba in this bone-crunching double whammy of classic karate exploitation from Toei. That's about all I'm actually going to bother reading about it, because that's about all you need to know, I think. Executioner. It's going to be like violent and excellent. Very much looking forward to checking these guys out. It's been on my wish list to see for years after watching Street Fighter, and I've just never managed to see the Executioner film. So yeah, 2 films, a bunch of features, obviously Japanese mono audio, English dub for the first film, English subs for both, brand new commentary, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. Image galleries, man. Whoever looks. When was the last time you looked at an image gallery on a disc? Remember when you used to get a DVD in like 2001? It would have image gallery, and you'd sit there and go through advancing frames of JPEGs that were really bad quality. Can't say I've looked at one in years, but anyway, the execution and collection, awesome. Onto the next pile. The first one we have here is the new Vestron release. This is the Dentist Collection, Dentist 1 and 2. I liked these films, Brian Usner films, I think, from memory. I had them on the old, is it like Trimark DVDs from like 20 years ago. I always enjoyed them. Yeah, it's Brian Usner. So anyway, the nice new, very cheap. I love that the Vestron discs are so affordable. Even here in Australia, getting these through Amazon Prime, they're like, you know, at worst, like 24 Australian dollars, including free shipping, which is a steal. Like, I can't go into my local shops and get a new release Blu-ray for that price, but I can import one from the US. So very happy with the price that you get these for. Where there's a drill, there's a way. I like that. Corbin Benson stars as homicidal dentist Dr. Alan Finestone in these two horror favorites, available for the first time, blah, blah, blah. In The Dentist, Beverly Hills dentist Dr. Finestone seems to have the perfect ordered life until the discovery of his wife's affair by the pool boy sends him off the deep end, unlocking the killer inside. Dentist 2 finds the evil doctor in a maximum security mental hospital, but not for long, as he escapes into a small town and turns his attention to a new love interest and new victims. It's the same thing, basically. The first one's a better film, but I do enjoy these. They're good fun. And I like the new artwork that they've commissioned for this. Very, very tasty. And you get them on separate discs, so not cramming them all into one disc or anything. Really, Vestron show how it can be done affordably, and I don't know why everyone else has to cost so much more when these guys can do a slipcase, 2 discs, not one, and they're remastered and they look great. Yeah, Dentist Collection, happy with that. All right, we've got a bunch of Vinegar Syndromes, pretty much. Yeah, the entire stack here is Vinegar Syndromes over, I think, 2 drops. It's been a while since I've shown some, I think. This one's hot off the press, and I'm very happy to upgrade this one. Flip it from this side. Biozombie. This is a fun one. Hong Kong film from mid-90s, I think. There's the reverse. I like the slip on this. It kind of suits it because it's such a ridiculously over-the-top film. There you go. There's the inside. We'll read from the back. Let me just confirm the year. Was I right? 98. It's actually quite late. Well, there you go. It's an upgrade for me from an old, is it like a Mi R DVD? It was a Hong Kong DVD that I've had for a bloody long time. But I always liked this one because I'll read from the back anyway. Invincible and B, they're the names. Hong Kong. 2 wannabe gangsters who spend their days hanging around the mall selling bootleg DVDs. I think they're actually VCDs, but yeah, they run a bootleg VCD shop. And yeah, that's their life. When they aren't committing petty crimes and trying to pick up girls, the 2 hoodlums run errands for their low-level triad boss. When one of these errands involves them picking up their boss's car from the mechanic, things take a turn for the 2 delinquents when they accidentally hit a man walking in the middle of the road. Trying to hide their crime, Invincible and B bring the man's body to the mall to figure out their next move. Little do they know, the man has been infected with an experimental bioweapon that has turned him into a zombie. When the man's corpse doesn't stay put, it's only a matter of time before the victims start piling up and the mall soon becomes overrun by a zombie horde, trapping a group of shoppers inside. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's I'd say it's definitely a zombie, like it's a zombie comedy thing, but I think it's done really well. I've always enjoyed it, and the old DVD was fine. It was letterbox but not anamorphic. I think the subs might have even been burnt in. I can't remember. Like, it was what you got for a Hong Kong movie. That's what you could get. But now we're getting all these wonderful upgrades. So yeah, it's not Cat 3 or anything like that. Don't go in here expecting like super over the top splatter, but it is good fun. You get a studio supplied master with additional restoration performed by VS. Oh, there you go. It's not their own transfer. They've acquired it and then touched it up. Original Cantonese language soundtrack with newly translated subs and a Mandarin dub track. Interesting. Brand new commentary from Frank Zheng. Interview with co-writer and director Wilson Yip. That'll be good. Check that one out. Video Games, Contaminated Lucozade and Human Sushi, a video essay by film historian Chris O'Neill. It's a mouthful. Alternate ending of Biozombie. Oh, that's intriguing. And a 20-page booklet. So that's the cover of the old DVD, which I do like. I kind of wish they used that as one of the options here. Like it tells you a bit more about what you're getting. I mean, there's a zombie there right in the middle. Yeah, look at that. Going to the mall, spelled M-A-U-L. So yeah, look, if you like light-hearted but still, horror and reasonably violent and silly Hong Kong films, I recommend Buy a Zombie, and it's 1998. So it's after things went south. I'm pretty sure it is Hong Kong. It's not mainland China or anything. Yeah, it is Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong film, and I recommend it. It's good fun. Buy a Zombie. Next one. This was a nice upgrade. I don't do 4K, as I've mentioned before. I can technically play them, but my TV will just downscale it to 1080p, so whatever. From Beyond, it's the 4K set for those that enjoy the 4K experience. Loving the new custom artwork on this one. That one really does suit it. It can be hit or miss, but this time I think they've really done a good job. And outside of the slip, there's the traditional poster, which I've always liked. It's one of the first horror movies that I rented on VHS way after the fact. Like, I would have rented it in probably like 94, something like that. Maybe it wasn't even a rental. I think I might have just bought an ex-rental. It was like we had a Vestron release out here in Australia. I think I bought it. Yeah, anyway, and this was my first experience. I saw this before Reanimator. This is my first experience into, not top tier budget Exorcist, Omen kind of horror. Like, this was really in the first couple of films I saw where you took it down a notch, and like we're not low budget at all, but just not, Warner. It's an Empire Pictures film, of course, which I've learned about since later. But it's a great addition. I'm not going to read. Everybody knows From Beyond. So you get the 4K, you get the Blu-ray and a special features Blu-ray, and it is the most uncut version that we have had. So I don't know too much about the full details here, but my friend and buddy, yours and mine, Extra the Mutilator, did tell me that pretty much every other release has been shortened, and he confirmed by going through this that a lot of the stuff that he knew was missing since Fangoria magazine days was included in here, except for perhaps one tiny little scene. Otherwise, this is the most uncut it's been. So yeah, it was a great experience to rewatch this. It looks absolutely phenomenal, the Blu-ray anyway. It's never looked that good, so highly recommend this release. And I'm not going to read the back. You all know this film. Along with Reanimator, like, flip a coin. What do you prefer, Reanimator or From Beyond? I mean, it's Brian Usner, it's Stuart Gordon, it's Jeffrey Combs, I think of Barbara Crampton, leather and whips and chains. It's great fun, absolutely great fun. But the font on here is so small. There is that many features. Good God. Re-Resonator, looking back at From Beyond, 97-minute making of documentary that's brand new, including Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. And I did watch about half of that, and I thought it was really cool. And a whole bunch more in here. 9-minute one, 20-minute one, older interviews. Jeez, it's absolutely truckloads of things on here. But anyway, From Beyond, stoked with this release, and I think it's definitely, we're done now. We have the best we can get. It is not going to get any better. From Beyond, excellent. This one, The Beast in Space. Shameless did an old DVD of this one 10 years ago, kind of thing, and I never did pick that one up. It was past their first 20, so it didn't make the spine, and back then I really cared about those things. Not so much now, but I also didn't pick this up originally through the VS drop, which was, this might have been December or January, can't remember. But somebody was selling this on local eBay for less than it was going to cost me to buy it anyway. So that kind of convinced me after the fact. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I am going to pick it up, The Beast in Space. There's the, can I? Just about show you that one anyway. Great artwork on this, very, very nice. And obviously, I mean, if you don't know this one, this is the kind of film that, in Australia it would have to be sold in Canberra only and under the counter. In the distant future, Captain Larry Madison, the most pardon me, most heroic leader of the space fleet, has been sent on a mission to Lorogon, a far-off planet known to be the galaxy's greatest resource for entalium, a precious metal needed to create weaponry. However, when they reach the planet, they discover it's overseen by a powerful computer which is capable of forcing all those near it to engage in mindless debauchery. You see how quickly we changed? You're going on like full space adventure and then it's like, nah, computer wants you all to have sex. Determined to overcome its effects, Madison and his crew wade through jungles and valleys in search of entalium. But why does Lieutenant Sondra Richardson keep having strange sexual nightmares involving a well-endowed beast? Why indeed? Yeah, an unfiltered product of everything which makes Italian sexploitation cinema legendary. The in-name only sequel to the notorious epic erotic fantasy The Beast in Space. What? The Beast in Space is wild take on the late 70s sci-fi enhanced with bizarre Peplin-esque plot twists and shocking hardcore sex. And that is why this goes under the counter, because it's got plenty of rude bits that are ruder than the usual rude bits. I mean, it is on their Peakorama, and I don't tend to gravitate to these things, right? But this one is just so absolutely bonkers that yeah, I felt it necessary to obtain this one. Scanned and restored in 2K from its 16mm original negative. A grubby 16mm. Oh, that's going to make this even more disgraceful. Space Amnesia interview, Space Lover interview, Space Oddity interview. Lots of interviews. Directed by Alfonso Brescia in 1980. So there you go. Can I show that? Yep, there's the reverse inside, and yeah, there's some boobies and things. But The Beast in Space, I will probably need a great shower after this one, and I cannot look forward to it any more than I can right now. Excellent. Couple of really nice solid upgrades here. Evil Laugh, upgrading the pretty ho-hum DVD that was out from, was it like Lucky 13 or something, like some strange bordering on grey market DVD company. Now we have a nice Blu-ray. Thank you, VS, for knocking this one off the list. Bit of slasher fun, this one. A group of medical students have decided to spend their weekend helping their friend Jerry fix up the old foster home he bought and is planning to reopen. Little do they know that in 10 years ago, a terrible massacre occurred which saw a number of young children brutally slaughtered. Things get off to an ominous start when the group arrives. Jerry is nowhere to be found, and a strange raspy voice coming from somewhere inside the house warns the youngsters to leave. Not letting any of this spoil their plans, the friends set about cleaning and pairing off for sex. But their fun is short-lived when a track jacket-wearing killer with ties to the property's gruesome past starts bumping them off one by one. It's blues riff from B. It's standard stuff here, but it's really good fun. I've always enjoyed this one. Haven't put this release on yet, but I mean, newly scanned and restored in 2K from 16mm. Is going to be slightly better than the full screen VHS master DVD that we have had for the last 20 years, 15 years. I mean, that's the only thing that there has been. So yeah, really, really cool. Very happy to have this one. It is a full screen movie. I'm not sure if it was made for TV or anything. I mean, they usually tell you this stuff. It's in 133:1. So there you go. Evil Laugh. And there's the reverse and the disc. Yeah, very, very happy to have this one. Nice little upgrade. And yeah, might save this one for a little bit later in the year when it gets colder. Evil Laugh. This one, man, I don't think anyone expected this one to blow up in the way it did. It is now sold out, with slip and without, and the aftermarket prices are disgraceful. So hopefully, this is the kind of thing I reckon that this has happened a lot with VS. Watch out for your MVD rewinds, because they might pick this up and do a reissue. That's my bet, okay? And if not, maybe 88 Films will pick it up. Attack of the Beast Creatures. I've always enjoyed this one. I had the old VHS out here, which is quite rare. My tape went moldy a long time ago, insalvageably moldy. Just kept the cover sleeve. Haven't been able to watch it in 5 years or something. But it's good fun. I mean, this is silly horror with puppet kind of things. But it's apparently not always been well thought of. I guess the combination of Vinegar Syndrome and slipcover and I don't know, there was enough to make people go bonkers for this, and it sold out in a few days, which doesn't particularly happen often with Vinegar Syndrome, even though it's not. This is AGFA, but I'm happy to have this one. Hell Island, apparently an alternate name. I've never known that. And there's the back, and then you can see the Beast Creatures. So look, it's good fun. It's good fun. You could use the word goofy if you wish, but I don't. I just think it's good fun. A beloved regional horror vortex that was conjured in Connecticut, Attack of the Beast creatures is a triumph of low-budget ingenuity. In an unknown galaxy, a group of travelers crash their boat on an island. At first, all is well, but when a man takes a dip in an acid lake, becomes a steaming pile of gloop, it's clear that there's trouble in paradise. That's when the cult demon dolls reveal themselves, and the appetite for eating faces, fueled by outrageous gore, a sublime synthesizer score, jaw-dropping puppet effects. This is what happens when a mid-century creature of feature collides with DIY surrealism, and everyone wins. Oh, a little bit of a jump there. Camera kind of stopped, but you got the gist of it. Yeah, Attack of the Beast creatures. I'm excited to check this one out again on Blu-ray. I've always enjoyed it, like I said, and we'll read some of the special features here. Restoration of the original theatrical version from 16mm. Camera negative. Partial commentary from director Mike Stanley. Not too sure why it's partial. Interviews with Mike Stanley, Robert Houghton, and test footage. Test footage would be cool to see. And this last part, preservation of the VHS version from the 1-inch master. That's cool. So you get to see the restored version, which is 185:1 OAR, and you get to see the tape master VHS. Why not? Nice, different way of seeing it. And yeah, there's the disc in there, reverse cover. And unfortunately, like I said, it is completely sold out. So look, it's the kind of thing, I think, yeah, MVD Rewind, 88 films, someone will pick it up and put it out again. Attack of the Beast creatures. Don't pay the eBay scalper prices, please. Next up we have Frostbiter Wrath of the Wendigo. I can't read. I thought I had seen this under its title of Wendigo, but I believe I was confusing it with another film. I don't think I have seen this movie. There is the other cover, Wrath of the Wendigo. Very cartoony on that one. I'm not too sure if that was from an old tape. I presume it might have been. But yeah, I do like the new artwork. Nice wraparound is good. Read from the back on this one, from 1995, quite late. Long ago, the mighty Wendigo was defeated and buried in a secret place known only to select individuals tasked with protecting the unholy ground lest it be revived from the grave. When two arrogant hunters, Gary and Dave, stumble upon the Wendigo's final resting place and kill its elderly protector, they unknowingly revive the ancient demon, which gorily dispatches Dave, taking refuge with another group of hunters in the nearby cavern. The posse are set upon by all sorts of ghoulish creatures, not the least of which is the Wendigo itself. Meanwhile, a young woman named Sandy begins to experience visions, telling her she must now kill the Wendigo. Yeah, from the snowy wilds of Michigan. Indie horror. I don't think I have seen it because I looked at the screenshots on the back and they didn't ring any bells, so I think I've seen something else that's Wendigo in its name. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Restored in 2K from 16mm. Commentary track, making of, all kinds of stuff on here. Interviews, archival stuff from back in the day. Yeah, 1995. A sharp 83 minutes again. And it's got the Troma logo on here, so I didn't realise it was Troma. Perhaps it's one they acquired. I don't think it's one they made. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's one they made though. Frostbiter. Yeah. Nice bit of regional horror. Keen to check this one out because I do not believe I have. This one, going into Hong Kong land again, we have a Ringo Lam film, Undeclared War, out on VSA with the very nice but sometimes annoying vertical boxes that they use. Yeah, don't know much about this one. Beautiful box though, wonderful box. But it was Ringo Lam and I was very keen to check it out. So we'll read from the back here. After a Polish diplomat and his family are murdered by a radical terrorist organization, CIA agent Gary Redner tracks the violent extremist group to Hong Kong on a personal mission of revenge. Once in Hong Kong, the rough and ready Gary is reluctantly partnered with by-the-book Special Branch Inspector Bong in order to track down the terrorists before the next horrific attack. While the two men do not see eye to eye professionally nor culturally, they must put aside their personal differences and work together in order to take down the terrorist organization as well as the group's mysterious and ruthless leader known only as Hannibal. So yeah, buddy cop kind of thing, but Ringo Lam, and when 1990 this one came out, so I'm expecting heroic bloodshed kind of stuff going on here. Featuring the signature bloody violence that director Ringo Lam's City of Fire, Burning Paradise has become known for, Undeclared War is a dark and uncompromising neo-noir. Doesn't pull its punches. one of the rare Hong Kong productions featuring a mix of international actors speaking multiple languages. Undeclared War stars American actor Peter Lapis from The Ghoulies, Hong Kong actor Danny Lee from The Killer, renowned Australian character actor Vernon Wells, yes, from The Road Warrior, and acclaimed British actress Olivia Hussey from Black Christmas. There you go. Very nice. Looking forward particularly to this one. I might chuck this one top of the pile. I have not been watching too much Hong Kong recently. I've been watching a lot of SyFy Channel, but I think I do need to space it out. So yeah, I do like, this is the kind of Hong Kong stuff that I really do enjoy. It's yeah, the heroic bloodshed and the girls with guns is really my wheelhouse for Hong Kong films. Cantonese language version with new subs, also a Mandarin dub track, 2K scan from its 35mm OCN, so it's going to look quality. Brand new interview with Vernon Wells. Hey, I'll check that one out. 12-page booklet, limited edition of 5,000, so I presume there's still copies of this one. And this is the annoying thing. Oh, I got it in there. Do you ever find with these ones when you put them in there, it catches on the plastic and you end up with this ripple? Gah! Gets me every time. Undeclared War. Should be good. I was speaking of Cynthia Rothrock before. Here she is. Sworn to Justice, VSA continually. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for putting out these Cynthia Rothrock, Don the Dragon Wilson, Billy Blanks movies. 5 years ago, I would have called you all crazy if you said that we're going to get not only Blu-rays of these things, but like hard box custom art. Golden Age, Sworn to Justice. Yeah, this one is from, oh wow, ooh, that's a very titillating photo on the back. 1996, quite late for Cynthia. Jana Dane is a criminal defense psychologist who has always followed the rule of law. She fought to defend those accused of crimes, until the one night she discovers her sister and nephew have been brutally murdered by a gang of thugs in their own home. Attacked by the same criminals, Jana is able to use her martial arts training to defend herself. However, after leaping from a balcony to escape, Jana is hit on the head and rendered unconscious. Whoops. Once awake, she discovers the blow to her head has given her extra sensory perception in the form of visions while touching certain objects. Of course it has. As her newfound psychic abilities reveal that she is defending one of the thugs that killed her sister and nephew, Jana decides she has had enough with the justice system and begins a vigilante quest to rid the streets of the criminals responsible. Absolutely fantastic. Copious amounts of fight scenes blended with a healthy dose of humour. Starring international action movie heroine and real-life martial arts champion Cynthia Rothrock. And they credit her here as undefeatable. That's outstanding. Of all the films they could have quoted, Cynthia Rothrock, brackets, undefeatable. Yes, they know their audience. Is one of the most revealing roles. Put that in quotes. Featuring a strong cast of supporting actors including Brad Dourif from Child's Play, Kurt McKinney, No Retreat, No Surrender. She's worked with him a few times, I think. Mako from Red Sun Rising, good old Mako. And Vince Murdocco from LA Wars. My God, it's just that's almost a VSA who's who at this point. Jesus, astounding. Late 90s, late night action restored in 4K from the OCN. We're getting 4K restorations of these things, people. Come on. Jeez. Romancing the Rothrock, a brand new interview with the actress associate producer. Romancing the Rothrock. I'm so happy right now. Kung Fu Directing, a brand new interview with director Paul Maslach. Archival interviews, archival EPK making of. I don't know what EPK is. Might be it's a television station. Original Sworn to Justice trailer, promo trailer, yada yada. Double-sided poster. Oh my God, yeah, we got the poster of the box art there and the disc. So just keep knocking them out, VSA, please. We are all waiting for the. See, look, this is what I'm talking about. See, it's happening. It's happening right now. Oh, for God's sake. Technical difficulties much? Get in there, you. China O'Brien 1 and 2, please. Like 1, 2. Nice box. You know you can do it. Vinegar Syndrome. China O'Brien, double pack, please. The world needs one. So I lied. It's not all VS in this pile. We have an 88 films, but geez, it fits in nicely. And it's also Hong Kong. The Iceman Cometh, ridiculous box set from 88 films, and another HKL Hong Kong Legends DVD upgrade for me. I really am reducing what I've got left. It's really, really reducing, which is a good thing. Nice upgrades. Yeah, wonderful box. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's the reverse poster. And the other name, I didn't know it was called Time Warriors. That's new to me. Kind of like that art, but just I'm not familiar with it in that title. Lobby cards, which are nice. Disc 1, the Hong Kong version and extras. Disc 2, the Taiwanese version, which I'm just completely, I'd never even heard of. You get, I mean, we're still going here. We get poster, a book. I'm not even going to call it a booklet. It's a book, which is just crazy. I mean, what is this, like 64 pages or something? Are these even page numbered? I have no idea, but it's just so many photos and stuff. It's absolutely mental. Just brings a tear to the eye. Kind of things that we get these days. Anyway, Iceman Cometh from Golden Harvest, the legendary Hong Kong studio, which had previously delivered classic Bruce Lee flicks, etc., etc., comes the fast-paced martial arts fantasy, The Iceman Cometh. 16th century Mingard Feng Suao Xing, that's Yuan Bao, sets out to capture vicious rapist Feng San, played by Yuan Hua. Both men end up falling into a glacier to be frozen in time. Yes. Thought out by scientists 300 years later, the confused guard must learn to cope with the modern world and continue in his quest to vanquish his opponent. Fast, furious, and fabulously entertaining, The Iceman Cometh rocks with time-travelling kung fu vibes. Just amazing. Just golden age. Yeah. Stunning 2K transfer from the OCN. Multiple disc versions. This Taiwanese version, it's got Mandarin audio, hybrid Cantonese Mandarin audio, hybrid English Mandarin audio. I need to dig into that version. That's interesting that it exists. It's not unknown that there's Taiwanese versions of films, but yeah, that's news to me. Remastered subs, English dub for those who want to do it that way, the classic English dub and a new English dub. And audio commentaries, interviews, Cold as Ice, David West on The Iceman Cometh. Cold as Ice! Sorry, I apologise for doing that. VFX comparisons, yeah, Iceman Cometh. Look at this thing. Doesn't stop there. Hong Kong, Volume 1, made in Hong Kong, Volume 1. This is a Cat 3 box with The Demon's Baby, Erotic Nightmare, and The Deadly Camp. I don't know these films. These ones are completely new. Like, if they were going to do it made in Hong Kong, I would have thought maybe like Devil Fetus or something. I at least know that one. These, no idea. We're back in Vinegar Syndrome territory. So you get, quickly look here, booklet, and stuff about the films. Looks very detailed. Haven't got into that one. Interview there at the back, and you get slipcover version inside. So ridiculous. There's the case. And we'll read a little bit about the films here. I'll get through the prologue. We'll just go Demon's Baby from 1998, which is many years ago, 5 evil spirits were trapped inside ornate jars and sealed in the mountains to protect humanity from destruction. However, when a power-hungry ruler searches the treasure, raids the secret chamber that houses these jars, he brings them home to his 5 wives, along with the other riches he uncovers. Unaware of the power contained in these jars, it takes an unexpected turn when the jars are accidentally opened and the ruler's 5 wives all become impregnated with evil fetuses hungry for human flesh. Yes! Excellent. Erotic Nightmare, 1999. It's quite late. So that was 98, this one's 99. Sexually frustrated due to his wife's medical condition. Yep, that's his name. Yep, finds himself preoccupied dreaming about erotic encounters with beautiful women. Well, don't we all? Thanks to the chance encounter, Yep meets a modern-day sorcerer who promises to give him erotic dreams beyond his wild imaginations. Hasn't he heard of YouTube? Yep can't help but take up the man's intriguing proposition, and at first is very satisfied, quote-unquote, with the arrangement. Satisfied. Yeah. He soon discovers these dreams come with a price. He must find a way to free himself of the sorcerer's spell before it's too late. And the last one, Deadly Camp from 99. A group of friends take a boat to a remote island to camp out and party for a few days. After arriving on the island, they soon discover that the people they were there to meet seem to have gone missing. What's even more concerning is that the group of friends stumble across another group of campers who are on the island to look for their missing friends too. After learning the island is riddled with death traps, things take an even more extreme turn to the campers when they find themselves being stalked and killed by a bandaged maniac wearing a chainsaw. So look, I mean, they've carefully not put Cat 3 on this because it's kind of post that period. That kind of, you know, I think that period that you think of as Cat 3 kind of died when Hong Kong was taken back by China, and these are all 98, 99 films, which is post that time, which was 96. But it does say here, you know, Category 3, blah blah blah, is to rate as films more extreme content, unique films that push the boundaries, what is considered acceptable content. So they've lumped it all in there, and it probably technically still was using the rating system, but it is past the period that you would normally consider that. 2 discs, so yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Not sure why they did it that way, probably just how it had to fall. So yeah, I don't know these ones, but I think it's one of those days where I'm just going to burn all 3 at once, smash through, and then have a very nice, long, cold shower afterwards, because I probably need it after watching Made in Hong Kong Volume 1. Volume 1, which means we might get a Volume 2. And I like this too, they got the cutout on the slip, which is very nice. And the last one in this pile, just Sidekicks 4K and Blu-ray in just what has got to be the most over-the-top box set for this particular film. Now, I'm not putting shade on this film. I enjoy this film. It's good fun. It's very light. It's also a little bit light in Chuck Norris. I mean, it's not particularly Chuck Norris. It's Jonathan Brandis' film, right? Chuck Norris appears as his sort of dream, like it's his mental inspiration for a kind of a Karate Kid film. But look, magnetic side thing, you unclip. There's the inside, right? There's the slip. You pull it out with a ribbon. We'll take it out. In here, you get a slipcover version, which the art's a little bit more familiar. Okay. There's the art that I'm very familiar with. So 4K, as I said. And 4K in blue. Alright. Alright. And the hardcover. I mean, this would have been enough, and I would have said, man, that's ridiculous. But no. It keeps going. Alright. I'll pull on the ribbon again. We get replicated magazines, Sidekicks. December 1992 issue. I mean, this is just Chuck Norris inspiring the next generation, Sidekicks. I mean, it's just, you know, interviews and things. Look, isn't that Hero and the Terror, I think? Might be. That's mullet era. It's quite late. Or it could be the Hitman. Not too sure. But look at this. This is just articles, the kids were kung fu fighting. Just look at the back here. Fight like Chuck, cut out for $29.99. You get these ninja throwing knives. I love Vinegar Syndrome. Who the hell else was going to do this? No one else was going to make this ridiculously amazing a set that honors a film that people have forgotten about and has had shitty DVDs that are rare and hard to get. A bootleg only DVD in Australia, like from one of the grey market companies. You only find it at the markets, and it's terrible. And here we've just gone from one end of the spectrum to the other to this completely over the top and highly respected and respectful 4K Blu-ray box set of Sidekicks. I'm not going to read anything about the film, you know it. It's just amazing. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome. Yes, it's time again for more Sci-Fi Channel original movies. I'm trying to complete as many as I can. It's quite a large range, and I'm going to be doing a overview video at some point once I've crossed off a few more of the key ones. The main area of focus for me has been around the 2000 to 2010. That seems to be where the most the better ones are. There's the late early to mid and the late 90s period as well, starting from about 92 to 99. Bit harder to nail down some of those, if they're in, if they're out. I'll talk about that in the overview video. Then you get to the post-Sharknado period, and it's all a little bit different there. Lots of asylum movies and that kind of thing. So for me, 2000, 2010, 2012, 13, that range is where the most bang for buck sci-fi originals are, and I'm pretty sure that's where most of these ones are. This one on the top might actually be a little bit later. Let me quickly check. Nope, 2012. So there you go. This one's Witch Slayer Gretel. I don't know, man. It's got unfortunately Shannon Doherty, and I watched one with her last night. SyFy Channel film. What is it called? Something of the Lost Canyon, or Treasures of the Lost Canyon, I think is what it was. Fine enough movie. She is as exciting as a sheet of A4 paper. So I'm not looking forward to her in this, unfortunately. But, you know, this guy, he's alright. And, witch, slaying, swords. It's got a dragon, you know. The dark and treacherous forest holds the secret to the age-old tale that has been locked away for many years. Hansel, now Witch Slayer, driven by revenge, will stop at nothing to avenge his sister. Hansel and Gretel, there you go. So it's their version of that. So, yeah, we'll check that one out. I did a lot of these from overseas, overseas being Amazon America, and some eBay ones as well. This one was from Amazon, and it's quite old. This one's quite an early one. DVD's from 05, but I think... No, that's 05. The movie's 05, so it's right in that sweet spot. Stan Lee's Light Speed. I've always been curious about this one. So apparently there was a competition around this time where people could nominate a superhero character, and somebody nominated this character called Lightspeed. They invented it, and the result was this movie. So that's a pretty cool prize to get a movie made about your character. So yeah, anyway, Stan Lee's Lightspeed. The covert world of government ghost squad agent Daniel Light comes crashing down when he is critically injured in a building collapse triggered by the genetically mutated terrorist called Python. Okay, but when Light's radiation treatments are sabotaged, he discovers that he has the ability to move at hyper speed only by risking potentially fatal metabolic damage. Whatever, man. Light Speed. This one's actually on Anchor Bay, would you believe? Old Anchor Bay logo and everything. There you go. Light Speed. Check that one out. This one's far newer. Might actually 2014, so this one goes past that range I was talking about. I quite liked it. I put this one on. I thought it was reasonably good. It's quite, it's a horror one. There's more, sci-fi originals. There's more science fiction fantasy than there are horror ones, but they do them every now and then. This one was done in 2014. It's called Dead Still. I quite like it. Silent Hill meets Twilight Zone. Meh. Upon the death of his great-grandfather, wedding photographer Brandon Davis inherits an antique camera, famous for taking Victorian death photography. Soon, his own photography subjects start to die horrible and bizarre deaths, and boy, some of them are. Some pretty gruesome kills. When his 11-year-old goes missing, Brandon must risk everything and journey beyond the realm of all imagination to fight the hideous entities within, save his son, and reverse the deadly curse, etc., etc. Dead Still. So yeah, it's nothing you haven't really seen in a few other types of movies before. He takes photos and those people die. It's well-worn territory, but I thought it was pretty good. I quite like the reddish, garish, simplistic cover. Not too bad. This one is from 2007. It's Headless Horseman, metallic cover. It's kind of hard to show. Maybe it's got a bit of a reflection there. Been curious about this one for ages. It actually says as seen on the SyFy Channel on the back and the older logo, which is very nice. 7 college kids take a shortcut on their way to a party and unfortunately end up in Wormwood. Not with a Y, but with an O. A lost town in the middle of nowhere. They find something strange and sinister happening there. Bones and weird decorations line Main Street. The cause: local Wormwood legend says on All Hallows Eve, 100 years ago, a crazed man tortured the youngsters in town by boiling them in oil. That's not very nice. In retaliation, the townspeople killed him by cutting off his head. Seeking revenge every 7 years, he returns and takes 7 heads from children in the town. Now, 7 visitors find themselves hunted one by one, makes more sense, as the Headless Horseman claims his due. There you go. That one should be fun. It sounds quite good. It's actually made by New Image, so a lot of these sci-fi originals, they're not made by SyFy Channel people. Many are, but most of the time they're just like commission a company like New Image to go make them a movie, and then they broadcast it. They got the premiere on the channel, and then they do a DVD later. So there you go. And the DVD was out by Active Entertainment and First Look Studios. So lots of people involved. Headless Horseman. Next one. I've been eyeing this one off for years, but it was just always a little bit difficult to get reasonably priced, which is why I ended up doing a bulk order. This one, a couple of the others were all from an Amazon third-party seller, and this was one of them, Chupacabra Terror, John Rice Davies, he's always good value, and Giancarlo Esposito. That's a name I recognise, actually, though I can't say. For centuries, the legend of the flesh-eating chupacabra lived on, but real evidence other than small mammals torn to pieces has been absent until now. Brilliant, cunning zoologist manages to capture the creature and sneak it aboard a cruise ship. The murderous thirst of his prize catch cannot be quenched, and as the cruise becomes a ship of death, the captain, John Rice Davies, summons a heroic US Marshal, to save them, but weapons will not be enough to destroy the chupacabra. They won't even come close. I like that. Yeah, this one's from 2005 as well. So right there in that golden era when they're smashing out all these mainly creature features in the sci-fi side of things, rather than less. Later on, they started doing more. The world is collapsing kind of disaster films. They always did them, but in this period, there's a lot more interesting type ones like this. Here we have Attack of the Griffin. Cool cover. I do like the cover on this one. After 300 years, the war between Lochland and Delphi is about to come to an end. In a desperate attempt to turn defeat into victory, the King of Lochland orders the court sorcerer to unleash its ancient protector, the Griffin, upon invading armies of Delphi. The wily wizard, however, has other plans and uses the Griffin's supernatural powers to become supreme ruler of both kingdoms, uniting against their common foe, Lochland's Princess Amalia, and Delphi's Prince Seth. Set out in search of the legendary Draconian Pike, the only weapon that can destroy the Griffin and end the evil sorcerer's reign. Yeah, there you go. This one could be interesting. What year is this? 2007. There you go. Attack of the Griffin, another US disc, another New Image film. This one. This is the one I showed in the last Sci-Fi Channel update, and I made a point of saying that I received a bootleg, and then I got my refund. Luckily, not only did the real one show up, but a Region 1 showed up locally, and it has a far better cover. Super Eruption. So much better cover than the local one, even the legit local one. So I was much happy to get this. It was $8 whole, I think, from local eBay. Why somebody on eBay Australia had the US DVD? Who knows? A super volcano lying dormant for thousands of years under Yellowstone National Park is threatening to erupt and wipe out much of North America. As lava explodes through the park, Yellowstone's top scientist and fearless park ranger work frantically together on a plan to save not only the park, but the entire world. Proper disaster one here. This is 2011. They really started to do a lot more disaster films post 2010. Yeah, sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're tedious. Like a lot of them have got that same plot where it's there's the scientist that's rejected and no one listens to. He's the one that saves the day, or there's the teenage kid hackers or something. They're the ones that can save the day. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see where Super Eruption takes us. Okay, so I wasn't going to buy this one because I know that somebody, particularly that person being Extra the Mutilator, watched it and said it was awful. And I thought, oh, that's alright, it's not a Sci-Fi Channel film. Turned out it was. It was a Sci-Fi Channel UK premiere. I had to dig deep to find this out, and that made me feel like I should get it. So here we are. I now own a copy of Firequake. I know. Stop groaning, Extra. Stop it. I can see you groaning through the lens. Firequake. It lay beneath our feet. He said it was pretty terrible. Promethean Kinetics, what a horrible name, has created Helios, a revolutionary clean energy source so powerful it rivals the force of the sun. When certain governments start cutting safety measures, the explosive product begins to seep below the Earth's crust. producing giant blasts of fire and violent earthquakes. As cities shake and oceans boil, Eve Adams, creator of Helios, rushes to investigate the subterranean phenomenon. As the situation becomes even more dire, she is the only one who can save mankind. See, this is the only one that can save. It's the same plot. He didn't rate this at all, so I didn't go to any effort to buy this. The same seller that had Super Eruption had this, and it was like a buy two, get the second one 20% off. I think I paid like $5 for it, and it's a region 1. But yes, it's maybe this is a sign of the quality. It was an American-made film. It only aired, from what I can see, on SyFy Channel UK. Yeah, maybe that tells you something. Probably does. Firequake. This one I had to get from Germany. This is an earlier one, and I was very interested in seeing it. 2006. Basilisk. No American DVD that I'm aware of, or anything else. I think it might have been a Japanese one, but yeah, Japanese, Germany. Get whichever one I can. Basilisk. Cool cover. Can't read any of the back because it's all in German, but yeah, it's got what's his name? Oh man. Let's just see if I can read some of the back here. We got Stephen First in this. We have Jeremy London. A bunch of other people I don't particularly know. Yancey Butler. Righto. Yeah, and then a bunch of German things. And it's directed by Stephen First. So there you go. I don't know. Basilisk. I remember reading the IMDb's thinking this was going to be quite a decent one. So yeah, it's all in English, but not the back of the cover. This one I got from Amazon US. It came new and sealed. I got it for a very good price. And as it says, as seen on SyFy, I like that sticker. Ghouls. Nice, again, sort of metallic lenticular cover. The Dead Are Waiting. I did watch this one. It was okay. I have some issues with it. Young American girl goes on a journey to Eastern Europe to visit her family. While there, she meets a strange and mysterious ghost hunter who speaks of terrifying, mystical creatures that roam the surrounding forests, preying on the town's innocent victims. Today, they discover her supernatural heritage and connection to the evil spirits who plague the town. Creatures once ruled the earth are not planning to rule again without her help, willing or not. Yeah, there you go. It was... look, it had some good spots, right? It was mostly entertaining. I just thought there was a bit of... some dead patches right all the way through it. There was some dead patches. The ghouls themselves were pretty cool, and we had some surprise guests in this one. William Atherton, he's kind of the main star, and this girl, probably the reason I didn't like too much. She's not a good actress, at least in this film. She's quite bland. But anyway, Ghouls, the Dead Are Waiting. And the last one for this update, the last SyFy Channel DVD. I wanted to see this one for a very long time. Actually, I take that back. I wanted to own it for a long time. I watched a download of it probably a decade ago, and I thought it was good fun. And it held up on DVD. It is good fun. This one, the Zach Ward in Battle Planet. Look at that great cover. There's a few different versions of this with different covers. Not too sure why, but yeah. It looks like the guy that does the Asylum artworks must have done this one, because it's got the exact same layouts and everything, but it's not an Asylum film, it's a SyFy Channel film. As seen on SyFy. From 2008, so really good one. In the not so distant future, Captain Jordan Strider, Special Forces officer in the New World Alliance, is chosen for a top secret mission. Sent to a desolate planet, Terra 219, to arrest possible traitors to the Alliance, Strider must survive with only a government-issued experimental suit as protection. He quickly learns of a plan to end all humanity. The captain now faces a choice to continue as instructed on his mission or choose his new mission to save the world. It sounds corny, but I thought this one was good fun. It's got there's plots from sort of like Enemy Mine in here. There's a bit of plot from, even though this came later, but it's the first thing that I can think of, the third of the newer Star Trek films. I think Star Trek Beyond. A little bit of that kind of thing in here, even though this is first. What I liked about it is Zach Ward, his suit talks. It's a speaking suit, and he's always fighting with it. He swears at it. It's obviously more uncut than the TV version because he's dropping bombs at it all the time, telling it to get stuffed. The monsters' suits, like the prosthetics, are quite good. It's like watching an episode of Stargate or something. So I liked Battle Planet. So good one to end on there. 2008 recommended. And that is this DVD and Blu-ray update. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out this thing. Check out this thing.